So looking at some coins here, I think it's time I'm going to start making some recommendations, and I have been in the chat, but I would be long Bitcoin, long Solana. These are both looking excellent on the weekly time frame, and our indicators are showing the same, starting to turn green and over 20 here. That's a buy. The signal line getting ready to go green and go buy. I was saying yesterday, though, on the dailies, I would expect some pullback here. And so don't be concerned if we do. Our trend strength indicator starting to dip down, but it looks like it was a bit of a fake out there and on this daily time frame. So we'll see if we can get back up in these ranges. They can stay overbought for a long period of time. It's just when it starts to break down below this 80 lines when it's of concern. So that being said, though, Solana, 21-day crossing the 50-day EMA. This is now support. We give the analogy of we're above the ice. The green is the thick ice. The orange is the thin ice. Sometimes when you're starting trouble, you lose the thin ice and you're holding a thick ice. If you break below, you're drowning, you're drowning, you're drowning, and you pop your head up. And then the cold water gets you, we're drowning, and all the way down. Then boom, we finally get back up above one of them and work our way back up. When we get back above that 50-day EMA and above the 21, magic can happen, especially when they start to cross. So this is my sort of very janky looking chart of Solana. I think I drew it on a weekly chart and it doesn't quite play out, but these have been somewhat prophetic. I think we push up here to 170 range on Solana. See some sell pressure, come back down to retest this recent resistance, and then it's go time again. So swing trading Solana can be very profitable with some of your bags. I wouldn't try to do it with all of them because, as we know, back in August of 2021, when I first recommended Solana in the August newsletter at $35, we nailed it, but we were taking profits early, waiting for a pullback that never came. And so, Camel Finance talking about the lockout trade on Bitcoin. That's kind of what we saw, and I think we could see that with Solana again. Solana ETF in the wings, and some very bullish sort of things that are coming out, and Mike had shared as well. So that's the name of the game. I would swing trade with some of this, buy high, sell low, or sorry, buy low, sell high, and take your profits in this trend channel. And then once we get back above that $300 level where it pumped when the Trump meme coin thing came out, once we get into price discovery zone with Solana, this thing is going to fly again. And, I think that could go to 750 or even 1,000 or more on this bull run. So once we kind of get back up in that range, but still I'll be swing trading this. Most of my IRA is in Solana, most of my regular account is in Solana, and I'm kind of going along with that. All right, let's see. Going to the dentist. Good luck with the dentist. And that sounds like no fun, but probably better than having no teeth. All right, take care of your teeth. All right, it's Helium, kind of looking good here. Push right up to this sell zone, pulling back a little bit, but we've broken above this downtrending trend channel, so this is what we want to see, and our signal's starting to look green on the weekly chart anyway. It does indicate a little bit more chop and pull back on the daily, so I would be buying the dip on basically all of these I'll be showing you, because these weekly TSIs are going green. We just kind of need to get back above this. Now stick around. I'm going to talk about Helium here. I've got this queued up on some great news about Helium and what they're doing with both mobile and Internet of Things. So that's why I'm going fairly quickly through these, and I want to cover that. But I'm bullish on Helium. I'm bullish on Stacks here. Has a little bit of sell pressure overhead. Has to kind of, it might come down again on the dailies, showing some overbought positions. If it comes down or consolidates a bit, I think on this next push, Stacks is going to look good. This TSI starting to turn green, signal line starting to turn green. When these line up, it's go time. So, and let's see, do I have my ERI Pro on? We know when these start to line, they are good to go, especially these buy money flow boxes. So just keep that in mind. Weekly chart is the momentum, and any downturns I'd be buying the dip, but we're clearly coming off the bottom on APTOS, turning green in this area. I'd buy APTOS. I like that here. It's up 4% today. AIOZ, I also like these weekly chart lines are looking good. However, it might pull back a bit. Lots of sort of sell block pressure on the daily. I'm not sure why. And so I think probably it would reject, come back down, retest these. So, you could see maybe a 20% pullback on an AIOZ and 25%, but that would be a great buying opportunity on that one. So just running right along. SUI, Mike covered that. Looks great here. It's above its 200 SMA. Weekly chart also looking good. You want to have some SUI. May want to sell some things. Buy any pullback here. Buy any pullback on SUI, and you want to have a bag of that. Filecoin as well. Look, we're finally coming up out of this range. Looks very bullish on that weekly time frame, and the daily, a little bit overbought. It's might consolidate for a day or two or into next week, but I'd be accumulating here as we're starting to come off this multi-year low. And as just a reminder, I think this could go 45x the cycle, and there's multiple take profit zones in this. I have shared this chart before. You can screenshot it if you want. But even if we just get to here to $100 and not even last cycle's high, that would be a 45x. So the all-time high would be even more. Longer term, I think that we have potentially 300x on Filecoin. It would take a tremendous influx of market cap because, and I don't think that happens this cycle. Currently, it's at $2.80. That would have to go over 800 in price for that. So, maybe we see that in the next year if they can get some big customers, or maybe they do a deal like Helium and AT&T are doing. So there's a little foreshadowing to what we'll talk about next. ONDO Finance, do like this. RWAs are starting to look real good, and I shared a video in M3 that I'll drop in Retire Rich. Also watch that. It's very interesting, and somebody who's very bullish and has some good reasons on the RWA space. Again, we were recommending that about a year ago. So ONDO slowly pushing higher. When in doubt, zoom out. You can see higher lows in a buy block. It's going to chop around. There's some overhead resistance or overhead supply. That just means people that bought in here that they want to break even. That's called extra supply. And once they clear out those sellers, then this thing can really get back to the business of going higher. So we can see that on this last one when we saw that green TSI go green, and that was a nice run. Doesn't look like much here, but we looked at it yesterday. That's potentially 300x or 300% or 3x on ONDO Finance. So I'm re-recommending ONDO Finance. OGN also starting to come down. Kind of did a little fake out here below the lows, take out some stop losses. But I think that thing has tremendous potential, OGN, potentially 50x. I don't know if this cycle, but to get back to some of these old last cycle highs, from these current levels, 48x, if it goes to the old highs from April of 2021, you guys. So these are some you want to have some on. Have $1,000 of these. 10x, 20x, 40x, 48x. These are these ones you want to own. I haven't updated the prices on these because we went down a little bit. So from current prices, though, it is possible, and we want to be paying attention to these that have those bigger potentials. Now it's 45x, so it's all within that range. INJ also starting to look good. Prior resistance flipping as support. And INJ was one of our winners early on in the program. We got into ING back here, and Retire Rich went up 568%, I believe. Here, actually, it was September, October of 2023 is when we were getting into that. Still went up 600% or more. So if we see a similar move like this on INJ, I'd be buying INJ. I would buy a little bit of it. I don't have any right now, certainly any pullbacks, but I think it's finally ready I want to see it break out of that downtrending channel and kind of retest before getting into it. But you can't go wrong having have $1,000 of it and see what happens. Hey, this is Brett from Moonstream. If you'd like to learn more about our pro trading signals or our live classes every Wednesday or our Retire Rich program, go over to moonstream.io/start.